I didn't. Because I wouldn't have been, I was too young to be interested in that sort of thing, but I've read about it since. This fellow that Dad got the lumber from owned the lumber company. They had threatened him if he sold Dad any lumber to build a house out there. But he was taking a chance anyway. He was a Christian man. He said, you got a wife and some kids. He said, I'm going to go ahead and sell you this lumber anyway. And he sold him lumber, and of course the fellow that he was renting from and his son built a house. But they were using tactics like that to keep blacks from being able to replace what they lost.
Let me see. Close up.
Oh, I'm gonna ask some questions.
Go on.
Yeah. What year did you graduate? Well, did you finish high school here in Tulsa?
Yes.
What school was that?
Booker T. Washington, 1934.
Oh, okay. All right. A couple years after Dr. Franklin graduated.
Yeah, well, I played in band with Dr. Franklin.
Oh. Oh. What did you play and what did he play?
I played trumpet, but I was playing third trumpet, and he was playing solo trumpet.
Oh.
See, he was 2 years older than I was. And he was a much better player than I was.
What is your most fondest memory of the teachers or the school? What do you remember most about Booker T?
Well, I was impressed by 4 teachers. My band member for one, band teacher was Jet.
Yeah.
His name is Bill Jet. And I was impressed by the Hughes, who was my English teacher. And Gertie B. Crawford, an English teacher, and J.T.A. West, who was a science teacher. I took science under West, and took chemistry on him, and physics. And sometimes when it was necessary to teach me something about how to be a good citizen, he took up the whole class to tell us about that. West deserved a lot of credit for teaching kids how to walk home with girls, you know, what side of the street to walk on, and how to treat them, opening the door for them, things like that.
So those little tidbits of social etiquette.
That's right. Our teachers taught us that. That our kids probably don't get that now. Now, maybe some get it, but I don't know whether they would give it to all of them.
Do you remember any of the poems or sayings of years ago that probably still hold dear to you? I know one person remembers E.W. Wood's statement, 99% of you better than 99% of the people.
Oh, yeah, that was to encourage people. They were always making statements to let them know that they were as good as anybody else, twice as good as the most of them. I remember Wood used to say about his graduates, now I'm gonna send you home, because now you're finished. I've done as much as we can do for you. And whether you're gonna be a good citizen or not depends upon the kind of wood that they send to you, send us to here to you. Now, if you're made out of oak, you're gonna have to be an oak. That means you're gonna be good and strong. If you came out here with the Simmons or something like that, you know, like wood or elm, you're not gonna be very strong. But we all we do is improve and enhance what they send us. But we had to learn a lot of quotations all the time. Hughes was a man that in literature, English literature, he's the one who used to have memorized 150 words of poetry, and then any number of quotations. And he would do it. He'd make a class out of it every time he came into class in the morning. He might come in and said, "Joe, I want you to finish this for me," and he would start the quotation and have me to finish it. And if I couldn't finish it, I'd call on somebody else to help me.
Can you remember one of those quotations?
Oh yeah, I used to. But let's see.
You gave an insight that perhaps no one else has given today, so that was very helpful. Also, you brought out the fact that there were good, strong people of all races. I like you telling about the lumberman that sold the lumber. And I've talked to other riot survivors who talk about good white Samaritans. They were not all mobsters. There were many willing to take a risk. Mr. W.R. Holway, who founded the Holway company here, engineering. Yeah. I understand that the Ku Klux Klan went to meet with him once and ordered him to fire. He had hired some workers, ordered him to fire the 13 who were Catholics. He refused. They tried everything to run that man out of business. They tried to deny him permits when he needed them. Banks tried to deny him credit. Just anything he needed in his engineering firm, they tried to put an obstacle, but he's held up for principle. He said, I will treat people the way they ought to be treated. And they prospered, as right usually wins out in the long run. So I like that you had some good memories of people who befriended your father and took a stand and stood up even against the local prejudices. So thank you so much.